Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 vs 1 on the Shrine of Exelon. Playing on the southern side as the Tau Empire, we've got Grindan. Playing on the northern side as the Chaos Demons, we have got Kubini. Kubini will be opening up with triple Furies, a Lesser Demon Portal, and triple Warp Signatures. Whereas Grindan is going to go for Aircraft Builder, triple Stealth Suit Teams, a Jetpack Research, and a Auxiliary Recruitment Centre. So we've got the boys in pink, and we've got the boys who might potentially stink, depending on if they go for some Nergler units. Which, let's be real, boys and girls, the chances of that happening is nigh on non-existent. I would bet my grandmother that Kubini doesn't recruit any Nergler units, apart from maybe the Great and Clean one. At least maybe not my grandma, maybe I'll bet your grandmother, if you don't mind. But yeah, so this is going to be quite a close combat-orientated match, as Grindan is opening up with a Vespid Stingwing Strain from the Auxiliary Recruitment Centre. So recruits and non-blue boys will be coming out, although maybe a potential for the Tau Commander. You can't go wrong with the Tau Commander really in any build order for the Tau Empire. But I mean, I don't know, because I mean, obviously the recruit will benefit if people drop floor lasagna. They'll be able to eat and increase their overall health. But I don't know if the demons actually do that. I think they just kind of just fade away, so the recruit will be a bit starved for food, unless of course they eat their own compatriots and compadres. Which I mean, you know, it's sharing is caring, it's all friendship. From the perspective of the greater good. Got some Furies coming in for some decapping stuff, although thankfully the Aircraft Builder was able to pop down a listing post on top of there before they were able to do anything. Furies have lost their morale, so they'll be losing health over time, and Croup Carnivores are going to just walk by them. Go on, go back, save the Aircraft Builder. Good lord, it's such a sad thing that these guys are probably the most vulnerable of all the builder units in the game, except for maybe Heretics from the Chaos Space Marines. Once they've done their dancing, shimmy and shaking. Interesting that we're seeing some pink horrors. As, I mean, with Kubini being able to spot the Vespids out, they should know that some close combat units are probably the more appropriate thing to go for. Ah, there we go, some Flesh Hounds. And I think Flesh Hounds, pound for pound, are able to take on the Croots. Until, of course, they get all their upgrades and such. Quite speedy little boys as well. Now, for the build order for the Tau Empire, I imagine they'll be going for just Croots and Vespids in Tier 1. Going into Tier 2, I mean, depending on how many pink horrors Kubini goes for, some Barracudas would be quite useful, as the dogs can't nibble away at flying units. Or maybe some Breachers to support the Croup Carnivores. That might be the idea. And Kubini, yeah, he's got the free reign of basically dictating how the battle goes here. You can either go for massive dogs, some corn demony things, maybe transition into Slanesh for some hit and run kind of things. It's all essentially what he fancies to go for. Some more pink horrors spawning, and no matter which side the Tau decide to hit on, you can always throw demons back into the Lesser Demon Portal and teleport them back into the battlefield, primed and ready for any mischief and mayhem. Although the Vespids are managing to keep the demonic shrines at bay for now, reducing the blue money economy for the Chaos Demons. That's what you really want to do. The demons require a blue economy to be able to try. If you're not familiar, I know I explain this every game, but for the people who are brand new to the channel, the Chaos Demons basically have to trade away blue money to get their power resource. So if you're able to stop them from getting one resource, you basically stop them from getting two. So a harassment campaign is definitely what you want to see from the Tau in this game. And also, the demons require to be near their buildings to regain their morale. Without the morale, they do lose health over time. So any kind of building bashing is massively advantageous. And these Vespids are just going out and about every which way, making sure that they're doing what they can. 2 squads of Kroot now, to just the 1 squad of dogs and the pink horrors. And if the Tau Empire can get into Tier 2 and get the Feral Leap upgrade for the Croup Carnivores, their harassment to the backline of the demons will be significantly increased. Like I say, there's no floor meat for them to eat. They've also lost morale as well. Don't want to overextend their welcome here. Need to get out as quickly as possible. How expensive are you? 45 blue, not the most expensive units to reinforce. But certainly don't want to lose them if you can avoid them. Ah, there we go. The dog's also able to eat some meat. And I think their, what is it, their squad, so their health cap increase is about 160, 260, something like that. Per model. So definitely want to avoid giving them any kind of advantage that they can. Although, warp signatures falling thick and fast. Good lord, Grindan's got no chill. These Vespid Stingwings just on a murder mission. I do quite like it. They've assaulted over here, taken down a demonic shrine, and then once they've finished their business over here, they go to the right-hand side and do what they can, making sure that there's no kind of familiarity in their attack patterns. Always keeping those demons guessing. And I suppose I may as well address the elephant in the room that happened in the Chaos Demon game a little while ago. Was it the last Friday against Steel Legion? Maybe it was the Friday before. I can't remember. Time means nothing in the Mr. Landshark world. I do appreciate that. Some people love Chaos Demons, some people hate them. Because I do know that a lot of people who do play Chaos Demons are very skilled in them. And so generally on the channel, they do tend to win. Their win rate, shall we say, is a lot higher than other factions. You know, I try to avoid watching the games till the end before casting them. I do like to have a little bit of an element of surprise from my perspective. So I don't, you know, I'm just a man. I'm just an innocent man. I don't have some sort of bias. There's no conspiracy theory here. So, you know, if these guys do win, you know, I'm sorry. It's just the way it works. There's not many Unification games that are castable in the grand scheme of things. I just basically do what I see on the Dawn of War replay website, or what gets sent to me via the Discord. So, you know, you get what you're given, I get what I'm given as well, and we muddle through it that way. Vespids still online, as the dogs just are on a continuous chase. Do now have a Demon Lord out and about, ready to bash these Brute Carnivores as and when they see fit. They're not quite as fast and nimble to be able to keep up with them. So I don't know whether the Demon Lord is actually the play to make, unless of course you attach them, or him even, or whatever his orientation is, to the Pink Horrors, just to keep them safe and sound. So if the Kroots do engage in close combat, he's there. Tier 2 for the Tout. Current economy is 110 and 30, compared to 125 and 0. So even though the demons have been having their economy being bashed quite considerably, they're still doing alright. Trying to skim out a cheap vehicle for the Tout. Will die very quickly to the Pink Horrors, but if they can keep them away, that's quite a powerful piece of kit that they can use in support, and especially if the crew can keep those guys occupied. Being fired from both sides here. Pink Horrors thrown in. And yeah, in a 1-to-1, Pink Horrors will win all day long. Given a slight opening as well, will kill them in no time. And morale being broken on the demons, unlike other factions, where when the morale's been broken, they have a severe lack of damage. No, that's not for demons. Still do the same amount of damage as regular, as far as I understand it. So it's not too bad for them if that is the case. Got some blue horrors as well, being a nuisance behind the scenes. And the crew currently at the moment are riding solo here. Will fall back to the protective fire of a listening post. The Vespids, they're still here. Still being a mischief. Those warp signatures are their public enemy number one. And they will go for them over and over again. Stealth suit teams attempting to capture the critical location in the centre. The dogs have spotted them, so they will fall back. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Piranha Skimmers. I mean, to be fair, like I said, they are quite cheap, so even if you lose them, you're not losing that much in the way of resources. But I would much prefer to see a Barracuda on the field, just because they're easier to manoeuvre away from the Pink Horrors, and they can also assist these Vespids in being a harassment factor inside the Chaos Demon base. But that would require micro, obviously. And I think having to micro the Vespids and also the Barracudas, as well as the Brute Carnivores, might be a little bit too much for even the mighty Grindan himself. But double squads of big dogs. Flanking Pink Horror squad, I imagine. Oh no, you're just more dogs, right. Fair enough. They want these Vespids dead. But I don't think they've got the maneuverability to keep on top of these Vespids. And at the moment, Chaos Demons are amassing in number. It's looking quite scary. Lovely use of the snare trap to hold those dogs back, but won't be making much use of any extra damage potential there. Got a Devilfish Troop Carrier. Ooh, that's interesting. Not much in the way of vision detection from the Chaos Demons apart from their lost souls at the moment. So not a bad idea. Good lord, these guys currently working to be the MVPs of this match so far. Don't know how many buildings they've taken down, but certainly more than the standard. And the Chaos Demons thinking, right, okay, well, we've only really got options to have one warp signature up at a time. If they get all three online, they're very fragile though. I mean, 450 health. That is very easy for the Vespids to smash down. Got a contingency of dogs chasing after the Brute Carnivores. Tower Commander getting some licks in from a distance. And here come the Bloodletters. Saw these in the last game. Do not want to let these guys amass in number. Very difficult to kill when they have all the morale. Any damage they do in close combat, they regain in health, which make them very tanky when they're fighting. But you know, if you keep your distance from them, they're able to be taken down pretty quickly. Over here we've got some pink horrors harassing the plasma generators of Grindan, but a Devilfish Troop Carrier, that's one way to counter the pink horrors. Might be able to kill the troop carriers very quickly, but you can't see them, you can't shoot them. And plenty of firepower now coming in. Tower Commander with his flamer, getting the AoE damage, but then flame on flame action as the horrors of Zinch, or sorry, the flamers of Zinch even, scare that commander away. The Vespid's still alive. Vespid's still alive. Still taking. Good lord. They are just animals. I think what Kubini should do at this point is just ignore everything that's happening outside of their base and just concentrate on taking these guys out. So much of that. I mean, I don't know how much a demonic shrine costs the Chaos Demons, but at this point, they're just, you know, spending money on having to rebuild and also recap all their stuff as well. A major nuisance. Not a happy time. The squiggly demony friends. Yeah, and there's warp shrines, warp signatures, whatever you call them. Only a couple of bunks, and they're down. Thankfully, the Lost Soul can just perk these guys into existence. Much like the Dark Eldar. They start building them, and then they just auto-build themselves. And once the Vespids have lost the morale, they do very little damage towards buildings. Although they don't need to do that much. Like I say, we'll fly away. As they try and recapture things. Pink Horror's moving to the left-hand side, but again, can't spot these infiltrated tanks. Although they seem to be weathering the storm quite efficiently, although they are in heavy cover, I suppose. FCAS builder being pestered and bothered, unable to build up anything on that relic. The Vespid struggling now, as no matter where they go on the battlefield, they will be confronted by whatever demons they come across. Got a couple of things in the Lesser Demon Portal. And we're now seeing a drone squad. Interesting, you're quite expensive. You're a very expensive unit for what you are. You're not building up more, are you? Nope. I was going to say, surprised to see those guys out on the field. Personnel carrier has been killed. And that's so many dogs. So many pink horrors as well. I mean, what the Tower have on the field at the moment? Have you still got your Vespids? You do. You've got one left. 28 health. We'll reinforce them. But severely lacking in army size at the moment. Troop carrier attempting to get out of harm's reach, as the dogs seem to be able to now sniff them out. Holding off the pink horrors on the right-hand side. Crews entering the base. They've managed to snaffle a couple of their own models for an increase in health, but not by much. And the dogs have got quite a sizable health increase from what they've been able to munch. Tower Commander just standing on his own, holding the line on the left flank. That's a lot of flamers. If they just charged in now, the tower would be a little bit shafted, but feeling a little bit worse for wear. Mainly because there's still people on the back lines causing them issues. The harassment campaign continues. Oh, now we're seeing Commander Longstrike's gunship. Quite a powerful mid-game vehicle. Or late-game vehicle. That is a late-game vehicle, isn't it? Yep, tier 3. The fire continues. Tau making sure they're attacking on as many flanks as possible. As Kubini, on paper, has the superior fighting force, but isn't able to really make use of them as the Tau just keep on falling back as and when they can. Horus pop out of the warp. Fire a few volleys at the troop carrier. Falls foul and dies. Tower commander jumps away. And fair enough, they've killed those tanks, but the Vespids are back on the back lines. The troop carriers, to be fair, are quite cheap. I mean, what? Oh, so you're not a troop carrier, you're a drone harbinger. Well, that's interesting. Don't see those guys often. I suppose you do have a lot of green money saved up. And if you want to spend money, I mean, it's better to spend it on something rather than nothing. Drone harbingers are able to basically build up little drones out on the field. Yeah, how much do you cost? Oh, we can't see you. But we do a fair bit of damage. But got a ridiculously small amount of health. Kind of want to amass these guys out before you bring them out. But, I mean, they're coming out very quickly. Well, here come the dogs. The dogs will try and munch them down as quickly as they can. But they're just not stopping. A conga line of pink. Doesn't seem to be costing that much. Really? I mean, it's a treat at the very least. You don't see them often, do you? Oh, you've gone for double drone harbingers. Oh, gosh. And you know what? They're doing all right. Against all the odds, they're actually now outnumbering the dogs. And they've also got the Christ battlesuits coming in for good measure. Oh, gosh, that's a horde. Oh, there's a drone joke I can make here, but I'm not going to. For obvious reasons. I just know I could, but I'm a professional. I don't want to touch on unspeakable subjects, but here they come. And thankfully, the Demon Claws Obelisk seems to be able to sort these guys out quite rapidly. But yeah, well, that's one way to deal with dogs, I suppose. Give them the old drones. Here comes some stealth suits, armed with their fusion blasters. And the battle suits continue to push on. Unlike in vanilla, these guys are a squad rather than an individual model. Where's the Vespids? They're still here. It's very rare that you see a whole squad survive. Oh no! Oh dear. Oh, they were doing so well. For a second, I believed that they were going to survive the whole game. No, the Flamers take him out finally. And now's the time for the demons to start, I don't know, orientating themselves. Gathering their forts. They spent the whole game having their backlines rustled. But now they can start focusing forward. Looking to the future. Current economy is 134 and 95 compared to 153 and 0. I mean, well yeah, 95. That is a significant amount of green money incoming. Have you got 2 Cadre headquarters? No, you've just built up a lot of plasma generators, and I assume gone for your upgrades for them as well. So yeah, the Harbinger drones are a viable thing in this circumstance. Although at the moment can only really bring one out every now and then. Probably want to save up your money. Christ battlesuit's been beaten back by the dogs. And I'm surprised to see that Kubini has not started transitioning away from the dogs and more towards the I can never... Bloodthirsters, that's what they're called. They're not Cornite demons, not Cornite marines, they are Bloodthirsters. That's what they are, Mr. Landshark. I mean, these guys are great early game. Fast, nimble, able to swarm an enemy. But as the game goes on, you kind of want to get the slicker demons on the go. And the pink horrors will not do a great deal of damage towards these Chrysler battlesuits. They are not technically vehicles. They are the heaviest of infantry. The flamers are out once again. And the drone harbingers on the left hand side. The bane of canines, apparently. God, there's one over here managing to scare away his flesh hounds for a little while. What a bonkers game so far. There was a big push from a Tzeentchian fighting force. Now the Fire Warriors. Yeah, well, I mean, if there's a lack of dogs, why not? Start bringing out the Tau long-range firepower just to outmass the Tzeentchian side of things. And the Harbinger drone still knocking on, although now the Tau are spending every single penny that they've got available to them. Well, that is a stupidly high economy. All things considered. Chaos Demon's going to hide in the heavy cover. I mean, they could kill these, but there's just plenty more incoming. And while they're firing at these drone harbingers, that gives the Fire Warriors plenty of time to move on in and start opening fire. They're going to make sure that those flamers don't get into close range. Definitely want to focus fire those guys down ASAP. Commander Longstrike's gunship still alive. And he does anti-demon armor damage, so that's not a terrible shot in this circumstance. And the stealth suits, yeah, I mean, same old story, really. Chaos Demons push on forward, try and do some damage towards the tail, but there's always something in the back lines forcing them to come back home and not really press their full advantage. And once they come back to defend, well, the stealth suit teams will just jump on over and start damaging something else. What an excellent game from Grindan here. And don't get me wrong, Kubini's done a mighty fine job playing defensive, but it's just been constant harassment from the Tau side of things. Not giving the demons a moment of respite all the way through. Pink horrors spawn in the middle of everything. They've not got really anything to target. And surrounded by fire and flame, Kubini says GG. And that, boys and girls, is that. What an absolutely fantastic game. I mean, lovely aggression from the Chaos Demons, constantly trying to nip at the heels of anything that they come in contact with. But those Vespids, like I said earlier on, MVPs of the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all here. You know, they're all set on the floor, but their sacrifice has not been forgotten. Constantly going for those warp signatures, always going for the decaps on these strategic points to make sure that the Chaos Demons can't get their green money and get out the big bad units, having to rely on those dogs and pink horrors all the way through. And then the Tau get out their higher tech units and basically win the game gradually over a guerrilla campaign. So there we go. So cheers, boys and girls, for watching at home. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week. And then there's also Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. As for Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short. Now I'll see you in a bit. Peace.